All right, welcome. This video is about the appendix that you're adding at the end of your research paper. And if I look a little dark in this picture, I had to adjust the lighting so that our screen would show up in this video. So you don't need to see me anyway, you're just focusing on that. The appendix is supplementary. That means extra information that comes at the end of a paper. This information is usually explaining something. If you put it into your paper, it's a little bit distracting because it's not really related. I mean, it's related, but it's going to take you on these divergent paths away from your outline. But it's still interesting, so you might want to include it. So, Modern Language Association, or MLA, does allow the use of footnotes for this extra information. This is what a footnote looks like. They show up at the bottom of your paper and they have these little numbers by them. It's almost like putting something in parentheses where you can explain something further. Maybe there's a story, a definition of a word. They come down at the bottom. We're not doing footnotes for our paper. Every year I have students who do add them because they have this extra information they want to include. It doesn't fit in their outline. We're not required to use footnotes. Instead, we're going to make the appendix. Okay, what is good supplemental information? This is things like pictures, images, anecdotes. Those are humorous stories, biographies. At the end of your paper, so there we have a picture of Queen Elizabeth, and that other image there, we have a family tree, it looks like. So, pictures, graphs, charts, maps, diagrams, anything that you think might be of interest or pertinent to your topic that your reader might want to look into a little bit further. So, typically the appendices, for each additional picture or diagram or story, they get their own separate page in a research paper. That's a little bit of an old-fashioned rule. I don't want to use that rule anymore. I actually kind of want to save paper. So if 2 or 3 fit on a page, we're not going to do the 1 per page technique. You might come across that if you research appendices or the appendix on the internet. Your very first image or picture or whatever you add is called Appendix A. The second one is Appendix B, Appendix C, and so on and so on. You must reference each appendix somewhere in your paper. So when I get to the end of your paper, I'm not just going to see a picture and go, oh, where did that come from? Somewhere in the text of your paper, in parentheses at the end of a sentence, it'll say Appendix A, and I'll know, oh, if I go there now, I'll see a picture of what you just mentioned, or I'll see a related story to what you just mentioned. Also, when you post that picture at the end of your paper, please write a description. Tell me what I'm looking at. Tell me why it's interesting. Even if it's an additional story, this story comes from, give me a little bit of information. We've got to have that description next to it. So, this is an example of an appendix. Appendix C. Imagine this was a paper that I just gave you. This drawing represents the joy that a student feels once he or she has learned the definition and formatting requirements for an MLA appendix. So picture your paper. Last name and page number up in the upper right-hand corner. Appendix C. This would match somewhere in the paper, wherever you had Appendix C. Your image, your diagram, your additional story, whatever you want, and then a description. What am I looking at? That comes at the end of your paper. It's also important to remember that we have to cite the source of this image. So whatever web page, whatever book, whatever video or whatever you take that image from, that's a source that you need to credit. Write down the information, make sure that that source or the source of that picture is on your works cited page. Thank you very much. There's the appendices.